Welcome to the Mentors and Moguls podcast. I'm your host, Heather Stone. I bring you mentors and moguls from all around the world, different walks of life, from creatives to CEOs to business leaders to top athletes and all kinds of other people in between. If you liked our episode today, all of our podcasts are available on our YouTube channel. Please go ahead and subscribe and comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. I am so honored to have a very, very special guest today, Rajashree Choudhury. She's come all the way from India just to sit with us and share some of her insights about yoga, meditation, life balance, and many other things. She is also the CEO and president of Lavana Wellness. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Heather. I'm also honored to be present today with you.
Lovely. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. You've got such an amazing following, such an amazing career, and so many different facets to your organization, your life's work. So let's just jump right in and talk a little bit about you. Let's talk a little bit about yoga.
Okay.
How old were you when you first started your yoga practice?
I started my first yoga practice when I was 4 years old. Our job, my parents, so they took me there just to play. And they did not tell me that they're going to put me in yoga classes.
Oh.
But I happened to be in the yoga class. So it was 4 years old and until now.
Oh my goodness. So you've kept the practice up. You practice daily with yoga?
Exactly.
What is your daily regimen in the morning?
My regimen for daily morning, when I wake up, the first thing I do, I like to meditate. And that's kind of like in India I grew up. My grandmother always had the prayer, puja we call, and we always had to sit around her and doing that meditation because I was young, so I didn't know how to chant or knowing all the Sanskrit words. But it became my everyday ritual. Just wake up and close your eyes and just meditate. After that, definitely, life changes, children and everything. When they were young, take them to the school, and then I go to my yoga classes and practice. And now they're grown up, so now I have more time for my hands. So the first thing I do, meditate and yoga. Then I start my day.
That's terrific.
Thanks.
So let's just talk a little bit about that. Would you encourage most people today, and since we're focusing on women, would you encourage most women to look into meditation and a daily yoga practice to help them kind of feel, people say, more centered or have more of a balance or kind of get their mind settled before they start their crazy hurried day?
I believe so, because I can talk about that very much because just looking into my life and from 4 years old until now, and I was born and raised in India, then moved to America, and then growing up, having kids going school here and raising them was not an easy job,
Right.
And I will tell you that what yoga does, yoga is life. If life comes with up and down, life comes with joy and pain, and yoga comes for balance. So when you practice yoga and meditate, and it's really calm your anxiety down. So anxiety is our, I would say, we all have that.
Yes, we do.
We do have anxiety because of we don't know what we are going to face that day. We have anticipation, we have a expectation. So more expectation and anticipation, and when we start the day and things happen the way we don't want, that causes the stress. So if we do meditate in the morning, then your thought process, breath, you calm down. See, everyone talks about yoga, all about spirituality.
Right.
The spirit is, its word comes from spirituous, which is called breath. See, when you when you have anxiety or when you have a pain, if you look into your life, first thing you miss, with what you miss out, you forget to breathe. Breathing brings the energy to your soul, cellular level, actually make your mind relax and make your completely in the physical body, physiological body works properly. So you slowly start inhale, exhale, we call that, and take a deep breath, which you learn practicing meditation and practicing yoga. Because that's why yoga, you do stretching.
Right.
Yoga, you try to bring the strengthening the body. Yoga, you're trying to be flexible in the body. So the strength and flexibility is not all about physical level. It's also required in the mental level. Strength comes with the faith. Flexibility comes with the openness. So see, anxiety is less.
Closes you up a
Yes,
little bit.
anxiety closes when you stretch. It relaxes you completely. So that if you practice meditation and yoga in the morning, you will really relax. So it's really whatever happened in the day, you're really ready to take that challenge. And without that, there is no life. So we always call yoga is life.
Yoga is life. So this is really fascinating. I think this is terrific information for anyone to be listening to. I think anxiety seems to be one of the most prevalent problems in, at least in the US today. I don't know if it's prevalent worldwide. We've got social media bombarding us. Everyone thinks they have to live the perfect life, look perfect all of the time, and have it all together at home. I know that's just not true. I've had a busy career. You have a busy career. So what's some great advice that you can give anyone that's just starting out, saying, look, if you want longevity in your life, you want calm and peace in the home, and you want your children to feel peaceful and settled, definitely start your day with meditation and yoga. Look into something. What can we do at the end of the day as well to help us decompress from a busy day so we can be there for our husbands and our family and be present?
The very important thing I will tell first, that when you start with yoga and meditation, then you do whatever you have to do throughout the day. When you come back home, which I grew up and I missed that, and that was time with the family, have dinner together. The time when you dinner together, and now every family all over the world, when I travel, I see everywhere is a nuclear family. The structure, the bonding, that the strength is missing. And what we need, if we even 4 or 3 or 2 in the family sit together and have dinner together and have a conversation, have communication. When you have a conversation, communication, if there is a problem, it could be between husband and wife, you take care of that separately. Don't bring that in front of the kids. And if it is a family issue or you have to deal with the children, you really have to deal with all together openly. And because sometimes we hide ourselves, and constantly we are suppressing our emotion and not communicating, and that's causing the anxiety. And as long as we can, our health gives us, we do take that anxiety and hold on to it, and we just say, oh, I'm so strong, I can go on and I can go on. But one day you don't have enough strength, that's the time you see when you go to the doctor or you find and wake up in the morning, I don't have a strength anymore to get up and move.
Right.
And that's why it's very important that emotion is normal.
Right.
And differences of opinion is normal, but the energy of the family, energy of each human being has to come together, we call, and then discuss about it and solve it right away. Then the problem is not a bigger problem. Problem is done. So I feel like yoga, meditation, communication, and take your time yourself, because that's another issues right now. Because people are, because of our life, that we feel very lonely sometimes. And when we have a loneliness and boredom, we always have many choices outside, because the social media open up with the door, and there is a lot of way, and we keep hopping to find the success and happiness. But the success and happiness is very personal choice. And sometimes we talk about success and happiness, and we try to look into finding someone that if that person has it, why not I cannot have it? This is the way we compare. But we never appreciate where we come from and what we born with, what we have, how far we reach, where we are now. And more we are grateful about it, and more we can actually assess our life. And that needs time, and that's need the silence moment for yourself. So I encourage all the millennial kids and baby boomers like me, time for yourself is important. Don't think that you are alone or you are lonely. You know, like my pain is my pain, your pain is bigger than my pain, or my pain is bigger than yours. No, everyone has their own pain.
That's right.
You know, so we all have to deal with it. We all have to move forward.
That's right.
That's life.
I think something that is plaguing a lot of women today, I know men as well, but women, is the loneliness.
Yes.
And we do tend to bury things, and we push it down and we push it down until it does come out in some sort of physical form.
Exactly.
So you're saying basically let the steam out
Yeah.
every day so you don't have this big eruption at some point in your life. Or when you go to the doctor, you've got some sort of, okay, you've got a disease, which is dis-ease, and it's been building
Disorder.
up forever and
Yeah.
ever. That's right.
And many times, and you know, like you are not happy with doctor's answer.
Right.
That they always say, you don't have anything. Just go and start walking. Do 30 minutes walk. And because of our level of energy is so low and we don't have the self-esteem to pull ourselves up, we just don't like to be 30 minutes walk. We rather choose to have food. We rather choose to have alcohol. We rather choose to have drugs, you know.
right.
Or sometimes we can't express where is the pain coming from. So it's the highest level of opioid crisis and diabetes problem right now in the whole world going through. And if we move our body, and if we move, as soon as we move, it's a wonderful thing that, you know, like a serotonin hormone and it's endorphin.
Yes.
Those actually release when we move ourselves. And when you do that, and then immediately you will see you are not eating from emotion.
Right.
You are really eating right food because you just want to feel, when you're hungry, you just give that much food to eat to satisfy yourself or nutritionally. Not overeating, not eating because of by choice that I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm unhappy. So dump all this stuff. So these are things very important. I always also say that, you know, like find someone that you can talk to. It's very important.
That's
That you
important.
trust. Yes. Bonding that way, even the girlfriend talk. If you don't have family person, I mean, you don't want to dump all your stuff to your children.
Right.
Or your parents because they may not understand, you know, your problem, what you're facing. So have friends and talk about it.
Right.
Or you find some mentor.
You find a mentor. Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have boundaries when you
Yes.
talk to people, and just know that this is a safe place. So find that great safe person.
That
whether
is
it your
where
mentor.
women, we are kind of like very sad because there are situations happen that takes a long way, you know, like they go and out of way and you just feel like embarrassed about it.
Yes.
So it is a very important point that you should discuss as much as you need to discuss.
Right.
You know, and understand the problem. And it's like we were talking in the room before that sometimes we give people, other people, when we're young, you know, we like to get attention, we like to get appreciated, we like to be on public eyes, we like to say, oh, you're looking the best, or something good always.
That's right.
And
it feeds us. We've
feeds
got that
us,
hunger.
yes. And as soon as someone says negative, and we just hate that person, we just don't like anymore. But sometimes we really, because we're so young, we just don't look at ourselves the truth, you know, that really there is something that I need to change. We feel like the other person is like coming from certain angle that maybe they don't like me, that's why.
Right.
But sometimes that's where yoga helps. I always say that yoga keeps that boundaries, you know, balance you, harmonize you. And when you meditate is not all about all my thoughts today I want to solve in meditation. No, you don't solve things in meditation. You do the meditation, clear your mind, and you will see that there is really nothing I'm angry about anything. So it's a very important to me that yoga actually a reflection of our life. You know, you put a mirror in front of us when you practice, because it's a deep connection within your spirit, deep connection with your life force, deep connection with yourself only, where you experience trauma, you experience pain, and also you experience the joy and pleasure. So yoga is a journey, lifelong journey. Asana is the postures where we find to be healthy. Meditation, the pranayama, we just find how to relax, technique of meditation. But then there is a steps of yoga that we teach. And there is comes like ethical principles, that we read in the book and we try to follow, which is behavioral science, is in psychology. Everyone knows. I mean, from the kids, we always tell as a parents, don't do this, don't do that, and all this stuff. But as a parents, if we are not the right in front of them, then it's very hard,
Right.
Sometimes they have a wrong messages. So
Right.
it's a long going. And then we call in yoga 7, like 8 steps, that the last thing is called samadhi. I'm sure everyone heard about it. But everybody thinks samadhi means you have to wait until 90 years old, like to be. Samadhi is all about liberation, liberating your soul. That gives you self-confidence.
Right.
That where you don't hang on to someone else's baggages. Okay, I don't want to go in there because that person will be there. You know how young age we used to do? I have to look better than that person. Those are the things actually holding us back.
Right.
And not making us having the full self-esteem and the self-confidence. That's what yoga offers. And I have this pregnancy yoga. What I want to tell you, I think, healthy mother can give a child a healthy child. And so the pregnancy is very important, that parents together, if they can do very well, if they can, mother should practice yoga. It is safe. Just choose what you like to do, what kind of yoga you like to do. And also you should go talk to the doctor, make sure everything is okay, healthy, that's what I always say to my students, that make sure check with your doctor, because sometimes anatomically, if there is some kind of like a caution that you should be aware of. But nowadays, all the OBGYN actually wants mother to exercise.
They want the mothers
The
to
mother
exercise.
to exercise, and yoga is coming much more popular in a form of exercise than anything, because it's stress release, because that's the first thing mother feels.
Yes.
Second thing, you don't overeat to gain overweight.
Right.
You don't go through a mental craziness.
Yes.
Because that's the main thing about the pregnancy. The body image and social anxiety, and thinking of after that, how am I going to manage my career? How am I going to manage my partner? What is going to happen? My life will change, juggling with this. So pregnancy yoga is great.
Well, this is terrific. So we were talking just a little bit about yoga during pregnancy. And of course, here's you being limber as anything, and you've clearly got a child in there developing. So I don't think I could have done that when I was pregnant. But at what point would you say, okay, you just found out you're pregnant, you're a few months in, it's safe once you check with your doctor, take a class? Definitely, I recommend that everyone pick up a copy of this book, read the book, because there's some great information in there. Women are stressed out. It's a scary time for a woman. So every day, if I was pregnant, would I practice yoga every day, just a few times a week? What is the best recommendation for a new?
My recommendation would be, if you are very novice about yoga, you never practice any yoga,
Yes.
you should be checking with your doctor first. And as soon as you just know that you can, and pick up the book, and you can just go to local studios, or you can practice at home. Because believe me, this video, I did it when I was like 27 years old.
Okay.
And can you think about my
Yes.
how many years this video has been going on? And now finally I have book, English and Spanish. So it's clearly doctors has been checked,
Right.
You can see that the forwarded by Dr. Doreen Wiggins, who is OBGYN in the Brown University. She's also a teacher there. So she's like suggest everyone. I am more careful with the mother, because I know how, because I daily, when I teach, I see how mothers goes through, because first thing, they don't want to tell anyone they're pregnant, first 3 months.
Yes.
Because they all worry about miscarriage.
Absolutely.
So think about from the day one, when you are pregnant, it should be joyful. It should be, you should celebrate. But instead of, we are putting the fear. So when you're putting the fear in yourself, putting the fear on the child too. You have to understand that. That is what I kind of like talked about in the book in my first chapter, talking about Melanie Klein theory about the psychologically how kids actually get experience with what's going on, so environment around them. And this kind of comes to it. So it's a very, very important part, mothers to be good spirited, and father to be, or if you're a single mother, around circle around you, you should make it very joyful, happy. Because if you don't do it, it's later on, you don't want to think of how my child became like that, and going through yourself, physical levels, 9 months, you are carrying the child, and it's a lot first 3 months. So I always tell people that take your time. If you can practice every day, you do it. Or if you cannot practice every day, 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Other days, just walk. But believe me, and do as much as you can. Do as much you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable doing that much. I won't do it more than that. It's okay wherever, start from the breathing and then go for it as long as you can. It's no like a big direction. It's just, and very, very self-guided, like I mentioned about where and how, that you need to take a balance of when you are 3 trimester, the third one, when you're really having
Right.
very difficulties of balance and sleep,
Right.
where you are feeling always a little bit, that any moment I'm going to deliver, or stress comes in a lot that time.
Right.
So how to get the support from others or yourself, it's all self-guided. But the doctor who actually forwarded, she feels it's good thing to do.
Good thing
yeah,
to do.
very good thing to do.
So motherhood really starts at the first point when you understand that you are pregnant. Don't wait for the little infant to be in your arms to start this practice. You
This
might as well
book
get
is
yourself
actually
settled.
during the pregnancy.
Yes.
And when you have child delivered, and then 6 months, because you are
Oh, that's important.
for me, is breastfeeding is very important. And if you can, if medical reason, if you can, definitely there are also, you can practice this, because of body has to slowly get back into the strength wise and everything, internally. So this practices helps.
That's very helpful. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
So
welcome.
everyone pick up a copy, go online, Google it. We're going to tell you where to find everything that Rajashree has to offer you a little bit later in this interview. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. You have a lot of titles to your name. So can we talk a little bit about the competitions?
Yes.
You have seminars, you have retreats that are sold out. They're popular all over the world. You're taking trips, and you've got a ginormous following. But tell me a little bit about the competition. What is that all about?
Yoga competition is very new to Western world, but it's not very uncommon to the Eastern world.
Okay.
Because all the, I will pitch here Kumbh Mela a little bit.
Yes,
the one
please.
I just visited, like all the yogis comes from around the world, and especially the Himalayas, those sadhus comes from, the naked sadhus comes. I just visited. So I have a great experience, because I have seen someone was like over 100 years old and doing all the yoga postures, demonstrating. So that's the way the whole yoga competition was started, with all the melas, where is the fair, all the gathering, all the lot of people, and always is to come with like some kind of a spiritual, calendar in India. And they have the tradition of yoga, because we didn't have enough money to go for getting a lot of medicine. But what we do with our own health, our own body, our own mind. That was whole purpose of how to be, healthy. That's what the yoga started. So they used to demonstrate, and everybody used to really looks good. Okay, all the yogis and everything. But from later on, it started really a federation and started built up for the improvement of the yoga, especially for the younger groups.
Okay.
Because like I started yoga 4 years old, right? But for me, I thought yoga I had to do because it's a medicine reason, that my mom will take me, it's a therapy. So my teacher always write me a chart because they will ask you what the reason you want to do yoga. You will say, I have my stomach problem, I have chest problem, I have back problem, I have knee issues. They will write you asanas, they will write you some pranayamas and technique of breath and some stretching, like a freehand exercise. You practice every day and then they will tell you, don't eat this, eat this. Nutritional guidance is very important part of yoga.
Yes.
So, and then you go home and practice. But for kids is still not encouraging enough.
Right.
You can see that because if the kids are always very competitive. Kids like to get awarded. That's because you send the kids to school and you want your kids to do good in the exam. Why?
Right.
Because there is a challenge there which helps them, motivate them, and especially sports, very much helpful for the kids' mind because that take them out of a lot of other problem in future life. So what happened to me that one time my teacher from my physical education in the school, because I always loved sports. And I started yoga 4 years old, and they said, well, this year you are not going to go because your mom complained that you get sick all the time when you go to the camp. I said, I'm doing yoga, nothing wrong. But they didn't actually tell me why they want me. They said, well, there is a yoga competition. I want you to try. So I was very young, 9, 10 years old, and I said, okay. I will go because to make my mom happy, because I know if I make my mom happy, everything is no problem in the house. So I went the competition, and first time I was experienced what is called yoga competition, that you have to go up on the stage and do the postures. They will tell you what are the postures, and then judges are sitting there. They compare the postures, depend on others, and they give you marks. And I was keep hoping that I don't win. Because I was just saying, if I win, then they won't let me do any more other sports. So they will put me in this yoga competition, which I don't want to do it. It's something, But anyhow, I won the competition. And then I saw the adult group, because in the school you went, that was inter-school competition. So I had to sit with everybody, all the children, watching senior groups to do it. And when they started doing it, believe me, I never knew yoga has so many postures, yoga postures, and such a beautiful practice, such a beautiful presentation, which actually motivated me. And then I said, I want to continue proceeding with this. Why not? Because sports is there, running is okay, but this also nice because I've been doing for so long. And I was always been very flexible person. So I said, then I started continuing it. And then from there, I went to the state-wise, then I went to the country-wise. And that time, as much as it can go up to the country. They cannot, yoga competition was popular in India, but yoga competition was more, demonstration was popular in Japan, not any other country. But then it happened to be, I won several of them, like 5 times. And then I also won one All India Cup called Vishnu Ghosh Cup, where originally I came from that studio. The lineage of Vishnu Ghosh. And then when I come to this country and I said, I do like to start this. I do like to start for the children and encourage from everybody. And we did that. And it took me a long time. We first started as a Vishnu Ghosh Cup, 2003, commemorate our Guru's 100-year centenary. But later on, I said, okay, now I understand how things work. So we start called USA Yoga Federation. And what I felt in Western world, it's a very much, the East meeting West that time. And more yoga was getting popular. 80s, no one knew that much yoga.
No.
Yes. Yoga started slowly exploring, it's a big evolution came. What I felt it in yoga, what was happening in this country, that people are first ask you yoga. I have done Marv Griffin show and they said, is it yoga or yogurt? I said, no, you don't eat that. You actually practice that. You have to clear all the time,
Right.
especially Hatha Yoga. And then second phase I fall in, it's not for kid. Kid, we will try to tell them, bring the kids with the parents. They say kids will come and they will only close their eyes. They think that's what they do, because meditation was popular by a lot of yogis and the masters that time. But the postures where your health benefit you can actually achieve, that was not popular. And that could have been, like in India, we grew up practicing in the school. Our physical education, 30 mark was from the asanas. You have to do yoga. Over here, they were encouraging, but it is all private school, not public system. Still, it's a challenging. But what I first felt it, everybody started when yoga was getting popular, everybody started saying, what kind of yoga do you practice? Who is your teacher? Who is your lineage? And it's created differences between the children. So what I wanted to do, make it like a sports, and where everyone comes, and especially you start from the young, because without a young age, you don't have that sporting mentality. In the older age, you are so much wiser, then you start criticizing about yoga competition because you started saying, well, yoga is supposed to be non-violence, it's oxymoron. But why are you judging? Just go and observe. But the family comes together when it's a meet. So I have seen now more younger kids are participating. So it's the seeds was planted from India because of my experience and my life with continuity still with yoga and yoga competition, and USA Yoga was born here. So it's the United States Yoga Federation and goes through every state, and now they have world meet. We just finished now. IYSF, International Federation, started, which is the office in the Lausanne, Maison du Sports, and hoping one day, it's a lot of difficulties because of the politicians, media, and everything. It goes with each sports. Some sports come in, some sports goes out. Hoping one day, bigger scale, the world meet can recognize yoga more. I mean, we are doing it ourselves. I mean, lot more people coming. And now we just finished the China one, was like 150 participants from, I think, 32 countries
That's
participated.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
this is amazing
Right.
for promotion of yoga for kids.
That's right.
So the younger age can practice. And we have seen another group practice yoga very much, and that is seniors. And that's helping them. Because when you're senior, you go through a lot of health issues.
Right.
Especially the, osteoarthritis, arthritis, spondylitis problem, and they're going to have a knee issue, the back issue, weight issue, and they can't walk properly, hips hurting, all these things. And more they're practicing yoga, and they are feeling better and actually keeping them, we call young.
Right.
They stand straight, and they are more participant on our senior groups now. And so I started senior groups called from 55 years old. Now they said, no, make it more.
Sure.
So, so now we have, last year, we had 82 years old from France.
Oh my goodness.
Participated, came with his wife and demonstrated on the stage. Amazing, like stand straight, perform for 3 minutes. And it's actually promoting. See, if everyone talked about yoga is all about spirituality. In the book, spiritual word comes from breathing. Spirituous is breath. You have to breathe. And breathing is a part of life, human life. The day you born, you breathe. And the day you come home when moms deliver you, you start breathing yourself. You are not on the mom's wombs anymore. And the day you die because you just
Stop breathing.
You stop breathing.
Right.
So the breath is so important. So the day you separate from mom's womb, you really start yoga. Connecting with the world. So breath is the life force, breath helps the life force. So if you have a life, breathing is a support system to have your life full of vitality, full of energy. And so you really need to learn that breathing. And what we do when we are stressed, we are sick, we have a disease or mental illness or everything, that's where it's stopped. It's actually interrupt. And if we start giving them yoga, they learn yoga to be strong, because where is the nerve started from? Spinal cord, right? So the stretching through the spine, going through your neurotransmitter, your brain, and opening the lungs for meditation, because pranayama and the meditation, the main thing is sit straight. Have you noticed that? Now everybody forgot. I mean, we are happy here, we are talking.
Right.
Usually we are always texting.
We're like this.
And
is the
more
posture.
people are developing
Yes.
that text neck.
Yes.
We call that, and we are treating more people with the neck issues because sitting straight is gone. Every time we are bending and we are just looking at our phone.
That's very true. I think everyone listening to this can relate. We're looking down, and that's very true.
You just need to stop looking there.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, because how you meditate? Everybody asks me that. I don't like meditation. I don't know how to meditate. Believe me, all my workshop, I start meditation time 30 minutes first day.
30 minutes.
Okay, and then when I end in 7 days, I have a different program. Believe me or not, I'm not saying anything. They meditate alone. They don't need me. And they meditate more than 1 hour.
Wow.
And I see the improvement because loving yourself, we call, or liking something, you got to meditate. Meditate is not about, what is the benefit of meditation? You improve your concentration, really. When your mind is not scattered, not a lot thoughts are not coming, you're breathing deeply, your body's structure is straight,
Right.
your mind is thinking positive more, and you can be productive. So a lot of work can be done. So any work you do before that, if you meditate, and you will see the result of that day. So sometimes people says, okay, I close my eyes, still a lot of thoughts comes. Okay, if you're thinking, okay, what do? Put a music. If you love me, I'm sure you love music. If you don't love music,
Right.
then smell something. You smell that, which is actually, because what causes our mind scatter? 5 senses, right?
Right.
Ear,
That's right.
nose, throat, mouth, skin.
That'll bring you back to
That
some
will
focus.
bring something focus. And a lot of time, I also say, if you feel like writing is your meditation, write in the morning. Write 1 page, write 2 page, write 3 page, whatever coming. And then all of a sudden you will see, you can close your eyes. It's the beginning of the meditation.
All right. I love that. I love that. So coming from the world that I have just come out of, being the road warrior, being on the road most of the year, a different pitch, a different city every day, because I was in sales and I was in tech for my most recent career, I would train up young men and women to get ready to do the pitch on their own. And I would be in the background just to kind of guide them in case they needed some help, some more experience in the room. Can you give us all an exercise? I'm going in for a big pitch. I'm going in for an interview, which is the biggest pitch you can have. You're selling yourself. And I've seen so many young women just get racked with fear. They forget everything. They've got all these wonderful qualities. Their mind goes blank and they're terrified. I'm not good enough. And all the craziness comes in. Walk us through, all right, I'm walking into an interview in 10 minutes. What can I do to calm myself down just so I can be present and not just a jittery mess?
I can show you one technique of meditation.
Okay.
And you just need to sit straight like that. This is the basic foundation of meditation.
Right.
we call Kumbhak Purak Rechak, okay?
Easy for you to say.
Oh, you inhale, you exhale, you hold. What happened? Inhale, you breathe in. So you put the air in your system, goes through the trachea to the lungs to all the way to the core. It's very important that, you have to have a spine straight. Then you retain the air by holding it, okay? So when you inhale, as slow as you can inhale, see how you know your breathing is very good. When you can hold, when you can inhale simultaneously long time.
Okay.
And then you hold it. And then when you exhale, long time. So usually how we breathe when we are hypertense, when we're going this kind of a pressure, you know what everyone does? Everyone is moving, right?
Right.
They can't be still.
No.
The stillness is the first thing you need to achieve. Yoga means stillness. Do you know that?
No.
Stillness is what is called, yoga means Thiram Sukham Asanam. Sthir is still, Sukham means at ease. So we were talking about, I'm just going a little bit one side to bring the understanding of this. Like a lot of time we say, oh, I want to be perfect. Everybody wants to be perfect.
Right.
No one can be perfect.
No.
You are perfect for that moment. Okay? And you learn from that moment where I can be better. And when you cannot do that, then there is not growth.
That's right.
So I want to encourage all the young kids how to improve their personal growth. It's not only listening to any mentor will help them. They have to apply to themselves. Most of the time we like to go, I attend this seminar, I did not learn anything because you did not listen. Your attention was not there connecting with the source who was your mentor. And you have to apply that to your life. So what first thing we do, be still and try to be ease. Don't fight with the situation that time. So if you're going to the exam, it's normal to be stressed out a little bit,
Right.
which makes you more prepared. See, if sometimes some people are overconfidence, they're called overconfidence, and then you see that they totally screw up. But you don't want to be overconfident. You want to be prepared. You hold a little bit that tension. It's okay to be prepared, but also don't show that tension to everywhere. Be still, be calm, and just do this meditation we call thumb here. And just watch me how am I doing, keeping spine straight. I breathe in through my right nostril. That's the technique first thing. If you can do 6 times and longer, your whole chest, what happened when you are very anxiety,
Just get up in here.
it just get there. And from there it goes here. Gut. We think of the brain, but the gut is the power. So you have to have personal power, gut and intellect together.
All right, ladies, you just got some great advice. This is some free advice. You need to follow this and practice it, and then write us and tell us, how did it work for you?
Thank you.
Thank you for that. That's terrific. I'm sure that after listening to a few minutes of your words of wisdom, that people are going to be scrambling to find, where can I find you? Where can I attend a retreat? Look at your calendar of events. Tell me a little bit about the retreats. Do you have a next retreat that's coming up now? Where can we find you?
Exactly.
And follow?
I do have my website called Rajashree.com. And if you just go into the Rajashree.com, and there is all the events are there. And from the events page, it goes to the directly linked to the places I'm going. Like I am going in 14th. I'm going starting Kripalu Center in Lenox, Massachusetts. And they're going to be 4 days of retreat. and it's more technical yoga classes, and it's a Kripalu wonderful place for alternative health. They promote Ayurveda and yoga very much, and I go every year. It's almost my 20 years of annual visit to the winter season, doing yoga and the meditation and the lectures. And a lot of couples comes there, a lot of mother-daughter comes, like it's a very much my ritual. Then I'm going to Minneapolis, and that is also one of the studio I am hosting for 5 days. And what is happening is excitement is I'm going to have a lot of physiology and psychology of yoga, and how to apply the ethical principles in daily life. And we have a special thing that cooking, because I'm very fond of cooking. So that is going to be very interesting. But there are, every month I do at least 2 to 3 times it's always a weekend mostly, unless I have a 7 days when I go to overseas, then I have a 7 days of retreat. So it's a 3 days, 1 day, or 7 days retreat, where I have the wellness program, which I set with the yoga, meditation, and the lifestyle. And there is the 7 days program is actually cover everything, because I'm also trained psychoanalyst. So we have a lot of work. It's a very much theory based, it's not a counseling or anything. So everyone find their own resolution.
Right.
Which is, if you could see my card or my website, you will see it's called R, Empower, Embody, Embrace. And everybody thinks, oh, RAR means Rajashree. No, it's not. It's called renewal. So in life, many times we stop our growth. It's never too late to start. So if you feel you fall back, you fall behind, or something you want to change in your life, come to the retreat. Always the time to change. All of us, all of us, we need our personal time, personal growth.
Growth. We never stop growing. And
No.
you are, we were talking offset for a little while, and you are all about growth, and you are all about bringing up everything and just letting go. So I encourage everyone to look her up, find her, attend something. Now I'm fascinated about the cooking. I'm not fascinated about Minneapolis at this time of the year. However,
I know, I'm going
fascinated.
those 2 places, which they said to
You're going to the coldest places?
coldest place. I think, you know what, I'll enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah, because living in California and born in Kolkata, India, I miss the snow. So I think it's going to be a nice contrast.
That's nice.
And in the retreat, the most fun parts, unless it is a women retreat, I have that going on for almost 13 years in my life right now. It's a yearly retreat, and I enjoy doing it because we talk about a lot of issues with the women. We have like a talk, like a very much open talk, and other places I have men and women both come together. So this is the very interesting happen when couples comes, and I don't know who get most, but it's always happened to be that moment. It's a kind of like a change for each one. And then it's constantly, I see them when I expect them to come back. Next time I see them, totally new person,
Really?
And that's very nice to see sometimes. I mean, this is like a inspiration for me, like we all have growth in ourselves. I myself also go for workshop just to attend, just to have growth in myself. Because we, as a teacher, we do all need that.
Right. You never stop growing, and it sounds like you're changing the dynamics with couples, which is very interesting. For the better, of course, you're changing the dynamics. That's very interesting.
And it's, I believe in life that everything is a process, and everything has a reason. So you experience. So not to hold on that pain, you have to embrace the pain, not indulge it, but you just have to grow with it.
That's right. Well, fascinating. I could talk to you for hours. I wanted to talk about one thing. You won, I believe, Mrs. India. Is that correct?
Yes.
Share with the audience a little bit about that and how you feel about that title and what's happening with that.
Well, I didn't do so much with that title, believe me or not. I really, my husband never liked it, that title. And I was proud of my title. And so there is always that, with the men and women always happen to be. But I stay focused with my yoga more. But what motivates me to doing that time was like, you can have everything if you want and if you try, and you can experience, and that was not something that I wanted to continue more, it's not something that I really wanted to proceed on, because you have to have, we just got married, newly married that time. I didn't want to continue going with every day somewhere, you have to be on the, it was enough to be staying away to prepare yourself for 6 months before you go on that show.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot of dedication.
That was a lot. And then, we just had the business that time. So, and I fully, totally involved with the business and to grow that time. We just had little school, but then the Hatha Yoga was a mainstream. We are the one who popular more, and I did with him together like creating a teachers training where it started more centers and available for every part of the city. Like you can sit anywhere and you can go to the studio and take care of the health.
They're everywhere. Yes.
They're everywhere. So it's kind of like, that was my main goal. That was my main love, was yoga.
I love that you took your passion and you grew it and you shared it with everybody, and you're continuing to share that. When is the next women's retreat?
Next women's retreat is going to be on March.
Okay.
End of March 28th to 31st, I believe. If I'm mistaking my date, please go on rajashree.com and you can find it. And it's going to be a wonderful place. They call in America, #1 Ayurvedic spa is called Sri Ravi Shankar Place, North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
North Carolina.
All right, well, make sure to catch that there. Maybe I'll jump in and see how
come,
I can do
please
as
come. And
I
I encourage a lot of women to join for that, because it's a really great experience. If you've never been exposed to the people like-minded, we are all career women, and we go for our better for our career. We never look into better for our health and lifestyle. So this will be a different way experience, because it's not going to be talking about anybody's personal career. It's going to be all about your life. You can discuss if you want to discuss about it.
A good outlet and a good place to get re-energized.
And we do a lot of hiking, and there is a lot of personal time, and we're going to have a lot of art classes. We're going to have, it's a passion, it's like exploring the life with your passion. So it's a hands-on programs, a lot of things, exploring with Ayurvedic massages, which is, I think, I am looking forward.
Give some advice to a young woman who is just feeling a little bit on the edge, a little overwhelmed with her daily life. How do I chase my career? How do I put it all together? What would you say to them, welcome them into yoga? What advice would you give to that girl?
I will first think, if you are overwhelmed with your life and overwhelmed with your career, and you are not decided what do you want to proceed on in your life in the future, first figure out, are you enjoying what you're doing? It's very important you find your passion in life. When you create a passion, then you must have a vision. That's why then you should follow that passion and vision together, create a mission. That's the way I did it. And I will always say, I always used to write it down and try to make a pyramid, like how to go step up. And to doing that, before that, I always did a meditation, clear my mind. It was for prayer for me. Because I think with prayer, you can achieve a lot. And after that was my blessings, So what can be your blessings? You got to really give yourself 100%. Don't hold back and don't hold for the result. Because when we have a Sanskrit word called karma yoga, we call karmanne badhikaste ma phaleshu kadachane. I know it's an overwhelming word, but I'm a yoga teacher. What can I say? I have to say that most of the time when we prepare for our exam or prepare for our job interview, first thing we look into, I have to find the job, because where to find the job, what job will take me, and then when you walk in and we'll see who are there, and start comparing yourself to those people and say, okay, I think I'm better than them. Why that person did not give me the job? Don't think all this stuff. Focus, relax, just be yourself and give 100%. When you give 100, even more than 100%, see what the result comes. Believe me, the growth will happen, result will happen. To find that kind of 100%, if you want to know how to harmonize your strength, your ability, you really need to practice yoga, because yoga will bring you that stillness where you find the faith in your mind and where you will find the confidence in yourself and you find the personal power.
What is yoga to you?
For me, yoga is everything. I also get angry and I know I'm not doing enough yoga. Also, sometimes I get very sad and I know that is the time just not sitting, thinking something or going underneath the blanket. I go out, I walk in the nature and I also stretch in the nature. I don't look at myself that time in front of the mirror and cry for it, but I let my spirit go in the nature, connect with the nature, and I come back with serenity and I come back with the peace. The finding that peace within you, that's my yoga. I don't let anybody have that.
Best words of advice I've heard all year. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and everyone. I know this was very helpful for me. It's very helpful for the audience, and I can't wait to attend one of your upcoming retreats.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Mentors and Moguls podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, rate and review this interview and share it with a friend who could benefit from today's guest. You can find bonus video episodes at mentorsandmogulspodcast.com or check out our events page and our blog at heatherrstone.com. Until next time, make it a great day.